Hey everyone, today we're going to look at just reviewing what a function is, what proportional and non-proportional relationships are, and what is a linear relationship. Just a quick review. If you need more information, please go back and look at your Schoology in those different lessons for a better video of it and review. So first we're going to look at linear. Linear, we want to make sure and we notice that it actually has the word line in it because it is a straight line. All of these on your left are linear functions. They can be horizontal, they can be diagonal, they can be vertical. They're a straight line. That's the key. Okay. And then these on the right here, notice how they all have a curve. Okay. They're not linear. They have a curve. If you want to remember that, they do have a curve. Let me see if I can spell that with my pen. Okay. Now, function, not a function. You are looking at the x values. You're looking, x's do not repeat in order for it to be a function. Okay. All right, so if we're only looking at x's, if we are given a graph, we could do a thing called a vertical line test. So do you see this little red dashed line? That it would be like our vertical line going from left to right. You could take your pencil, your paper, just visually see, do any of these have the same x values? And by x value, I mean the x-axis. So if you notice, this has the same x value as this one. This one is a function, right? Because you don't have any repeating x's on this line that they're talking about. And this one, if you notice, is not a function. All right, so if you look at that next example with a circle, you have not a function as well because your x values repeat here on this little red dash line, but it also repeats anywhere else because the x values, it is a circle and it comes back around on itself. So if you are looking at a table of values, remember you only want to look at the x's or the inputs on this table is what it's listed as. Remember our output are our y values. We don't really care about them. We want to see, do these x's repeat? They don't repeat on this example, so it is a function. Now, not a function. If you take a look, we have 4s that are repeating. That means it is not a function. And remember, we only want to look at our x values, these guys right here on this side of our column. All right, we don't care about those y's at all. All right, let me scooch down. This next one, if we have a mapping, so it's a little bit messed up right here where it says function, not a function. But if we're looking at mapping, we only want to look at our x's or our left of our bubble map. And we want to look at these numbers. Does it have one line coming out of each of them? And it does. So this is our function. Okay, showing that our x's do not repeat. Now, if you look at this next example, that 4 right there has 2 lines coming out of it. So that shows that it is not a function. If it has multiple lines coming out of an x, it cannot be a function. And the last thing we're going to talk about is proportional, non-proportional. So proportional will go through the origin, that dot right there in the middle where your x and your y-axis intercept. And a non-proportional graph actually has a y-intercept that is not that 0, 0. So for example, you would write this one as y equals mx plus b. So for this example, that b value that is right here, it's 3. Okay, so it would be y equals whatever that slope is plus 3. Now this has no y-intercept, right? We don't have a plus 0 back here, but we can understand that it goes through that origin. For example, it'd be like y equals 2x if we were to see it as a problem. Whereas this one was y equals maybe 2x plus the 3 that we talked about. That is a big X, sorry. Plus the 3. Okay. So if you were given a table of values, first thing you want to look for, does it say 0, 0? Because that might be the easiest thing to look for. Okay. And then you can see. Otherwise, you could compare the ratio of your y's and your x's together. On this one, if you notice where it says 0, 4, you can immediately know it's non-proportional because they tell you that that is not a 0 where the distance is. All right, so this is helpful. If you need more help, please go back and watch those video lessons about these topics, functions, linear, and proportions.